Tails, you win. What you will learn from this story is why a few lucky breaks matter more than a long list of small mistakes. You will see how staying calm through the boring stretches lets the big score find you. And you will feel the relief of realizing you do not have to be a genius every single day. Storyteller Arjun Meera. Imagine we are sitting on the back step on a warm night. I have one cold bottle of water between us and a pocket full of coins. Let me flip one while I tell you the true tale of my neighbor Meera. She never tried to be a market wizard. She simply learned how to wait for the rare moment that flips everything. Meera sold handmade candles at the Saturday market for 20 years. Most mornings she earned just enough to cover her jars and wicks. Her tent sat between the pretzel guy and the loud guitar kid, so foot traffic drifted quickly. She would smile anyway, rearrange the scented row, and light one candle so the smell carried. By noon, she usually knew if the day would be a win or a shrug. Still, she kept showing up because her mother had told her. Every no gets you closer to the yes that matters. One gray October, the craft fair moved indoors because of rain. A podcast producer on vacation from New York ducked into the hall to escape the drizzle. She was killing time before the train back to the city. She picked up Meera's little amber candle, sniffed lavender and smoke, and closed her eyes. The producer bought 3, asked for a business card, then disappeared into the rain. Meera did not overthink it. She wrapped the jars, pocketed the $35, and finished the weekend. 4 months later, Meera's email pinged at 2 in the morning. The producer had placed the candle on her desk, burned it during edits, and slowly every guest asked where it came from. The podcast had landed a sponsor spot for a self-care episode. Would Meera consider sending 200 sample tins by Friday? The fee offered was twice her best year of Saturday sales. She read the note 3 times, looked at her sleeping dog, and laughed out loud. The next morning, she took every penny she had saved, bought wax in bulk, and called her retired sister for help. They finished at dawn on Friday. The parcel went out, the episode aired, and orders exploded. Within 6 months, Meera left the Saturday stall. She hired her sister, the guitar kid, and even the pretzel guy to pour and pack. The tiny garage turned into a real workshop. Headlines called her an overnight success. Neighbors forgot the 20 quiet years when she froze her fingers tying ribbon alone. She remembered, though. Each night she walked the dog past the old market square and smiled at the empty spot where her plastic table once stood. She knew the secret was not the magic candle. It was staying alive long enough for one random flip to land in her favor. The next part of the story is what Meera did when sales cooled. Because after the wave, orders drifted back to a gentle ripple. Competition showed up, shipping costs jumped, and a batch of bad wax ruined a week's work. Her savings dipped for the first time since the big break. Doubt whispered that maybe she had simply been lucky once. She could have panicked, hired consultants, chased flashy ads, or borrowed to expand. Instead, she returned to the lesson her mother had given. She tightened costs, focused on quality, and kept the candle burning in the window of the internet. She understood that tail events do not come on demand. They visit the people who stay in the game with reasonable bets and calm hearts. Years later, a second tale arrived disguised as a complaint. A customer wrote that the lavender scent faded after shipping to Phoenix. Meera answered politely, offered a refund, and added a tiny handwritten note with tips to store the candle. The customer turned out to be a boutique buyer in Scottsdale. She loved the personal touch. She ordered 1,000 units for a resort chain. Meera's workshop hummed again. The second win was bigger, but it felt less shocking. She no longer believed she had to win every day. She only had to avoid going broke or burning out before the next rare coin landed heads. One winter evening, Meera and I sat on the same back step where I sit with you now. She poured tea, scratched her old dog, and said, "People think I'm good at business. Truth is I'm just patient. I lose a little most weeks. Occasionally I win a lot. The wins pay for the losses and leave plenty behind." She pulled a coin from her pocket and flipped it. It twinkled in the porch light, landed tails, and we both smiled. "Tails, I still win," she said, because she had learned that tails simply meant the ordinary stretch. Ordinary stretches are the price of admission for the rare thunderclap that changes everything. Summary: most of life feels like small, steady losses or boring sideways movement. A handful of tail events supply the majority of joy, money, and meaning. You do not have to predict them perfectly. You only have to stay in the game with sensible mistakes, low costs, and a calm heart. When the big flip finally lands, one yes erases 1,000 quiet no's. Keep showing up, keep the risk small enough to sleep, and let time deliver the rare coin that tips the scoreboard in your favor.